Right now, every website you visit, every search you run, every password you type is passing through your browser first. And the browser sitting open on your screen right now, the one you installed without thinking because it was already there or because everyone uses it, is almost certainly sending a detailed report of everything you just did to a company whose entire business model depends on knowing as much about you as possible. Profiled, logged, packaged, and sold. And they have been doing it for years. Today, we are naming the 3 browsers you need to close immediately. And then, we are giving you 3 free replacements that were actually built to protect you. Let's start with the ones doing the most damage. Number 1. Google Chrome. Chrome controls 65% of the global browser market, which means right now, the majority of people watching this are using a browser made by the world's largest advertising company. That is not a coincidence. That is the plan. Google's entire $237 billion advertising business depends on knowing what you are interested in, where you are, what you are shopping for, and what you are worried about. Chrome is how they find out. According to a 2025 analysis by cybersecurity researchers at Surfshark, Chrome collects 20 different types of user data, more than any other major browser. For comparison, most privacy-focused browsers collect 6 or fewer. Chrome is the only browser that collects your contact list from your phone's address book. The only browser that collects your financial details, including payment methods and card numbers. When Chrome Sync is enabled, which Google pushes you to do during setup, your entire browsing life is uploaded to Google's servers and attached to your name. And the incognito mode?
Let's go over Google Chrome. You know where this is going. It's going straight in the spyware tier. If you're using Google Chrome, just stop, because what Google is doing with this is it's just collecting all of your data on every website you visit.
In 2024, Google settled a class action lawsuit for up to $5 billion after being accused of tracking users even in incognito mode through Google Analytics and third-party cookies embedded across millions of websites. Google denied wrongdoing, deleted some data, moved on. Incognito hides your history from the person sitting next to you. It was never designed to hide it from Google. Chrome is fast, it works everywhere, it integrates beautifully with Gmail and YouTube. If that convenience matters more to you than privacy, at least now you understand exactly what you are trading it for. But you should know, the browser you open every morning has been building an advertising profile of you since the day you installed it. Google calls that a feature, I call it something else. Number 2, Microsoft Edge. Edge comes pre-installed on every Windows computer on Earth, which means billions of people use it, not because they chose it, but because Microsoft put it there and made it the default before they had a chance to choose anything else. That distinction matters when we talk about consent. Now here's the detail about Edge that almost nobody talks about. And it is the one that genuinely surprised me when I researched this video. Chrome, Edge, and Brave are all built on the same underlying engine. It is called Chromium. Google created it, Google maintains it. And both Microsoft and Brave built their browsers on top of Google's open source code. So when Microsoft says Edge is a fresh start from Internet Explorer, technically yes. But under the hood, you are still running an engine Google wrote. The difference is what each company built on top of that engine. What Microsoft built on top is a browser deeply integrated with Bing, Microsoft's advertising platform. Bing is the only major search engine that collects precise location data by default. GPS-level accuracy, not just city approximation. Edge's default telemetry sends your browsing behavior to Microsoft's servers in ways you cannot fully disable through normal settings. Microsoft's own documentation confirms that required diagnostic data collection continues regardless of your privacy preferences, and every Edge feature that involves AI, Copilot, shopping suggestions, the sidebar, analyzes your browsing context in real time to personalize what Microsoft shows you. Personalization is the polite word for surveillance. Edge is less aggressive about data collection than Chrome. Microsoft sells software, not ads, as its primary business. But Edge was not built to protect your privacy. It was built to keep you inside Microsoft's ecosystem, using Microsoft services, generating data from Microsoft's platforms. The intentions are different from Google's. The result for your privacy is similar. Number 3, Safari. Safari is the one that is going to cause the most debate in the comments. Good. Let's have that debate. Apple markets itself as the privacy company. Tim Cook has delivered speeches at international conferences calling privacy a fundamental human right. Safari blocks third-party cookies. Intelligent tracking prevention stops advertisers from following you across websites. These things are real. Apple has genuinely made the internet less trackable by advertisers. I am not going to pretend otherwise, but here is what Apple does not say in those speeches. Fraudulent website warning, enabled by default in Safari, sends every URL you visit to Apple's servers for safety checking. Siri suggestions can transmit your search queries to Apple before you finish typing. iCloud Private Relay, Apple's VPN alternative, routes your traffic through Apple-controlled infrastructure. You are not browsing privately. You are browsing privately from everyone except Apple. And Apple is a $3.5 trillion company that sells devices, subscriptions, and services that all become more valuable the more they know about you. The deeper problem is structural. Safari only runs on Apple hardware. No Windows version, no Android version. Every bookmark, every saved password, every piece of your browsing history lives inside iCloud, which you pay for and which Apple controls. Switch away from Apple and you lose it all unless you export it manually. That is not a browser feature. That is a retention mechanism that uses your browsing data as a hostage. Apple's privacy protections are genuine and meaningful. They just stop at Apple's own front door. For a company whose entire business model depends on you staying loyal to their ecosystem, that is a very convenient place to stop. If any of that changes what you plan to do after this video, hit subscribe. Because the 3 alternatives coming up are free, take 2 minutes to install, and were built from the ground up to work for you instead of against you. Now, here is what browsers look like when the product is actually privacy. Number 1. Mozilla Firefox. Firefox launched in 2004. The pitch has not changed in 20 years. A browser built by a nonprofit, for people with no advertising business to feed. In a market where every other major browser is owned by a company whose core revenue depends on data, that independence is almost shockingly rare. Mozilla publishes their source code. Independent researchers audit their privacy claims. They do not sell your data because selling your data is not how they make money. Mozilla's business model is search partnerships, including, ironically, a deal that makes Google Firefox's default search engine, accounting for a significant portion of Mozilla's revenue. I am naming that because you deserve to know it, but the deal pays for browser development. It does not give Google access to what you do in Firefox. When you use Firefox with a different search engine, DuckDuckGo, Brave Search, anything other than Google, you are browsing in an environment where no one is building an advertising profile of you. That experience is essentially free. Total Cookie Protection is Firefox's most underrated feature. It stores cookies in isolated containers for each website. So when you visit a news site, that site's cookies stay on that site. They cannot follow you to your bank, your health search, your shopping cart. Cross-site tracking requires cookies to travel between websites. Firefox makes that physically impossible by design. Enhanced tracking protection blocks, trackers, crypto miners, and fingerprinting scripts without you touching a single setting. Firefox is my honest recommendation for the majority of people who want real privacy without becoming a security professional. It works on every platform. It supports every extension. It breaks almost no websites. And for 2 decades, Mozilla has been the organization most consistently willing to take financial hits in order to protect their users. That track record matters. Number 2, Brave. In 2015, a programmer named Brendan Eich sat down to build a browser. Eich had co-founded Mozilla. He had invented JavaScript, the programming language that runs on virtually every website on the internet. He had spent his career watching the web get built, and then watching it get monetized in ways that he thought were fundamentally broken. So he started over. He took Chromium, the same open-source engine Google uses for Chrome, and rebuilt it without a single line of Google's data collection code. The result was Brave. Here's the thing about building privacy into the engine rather than adding it as an extension. It is faster. Brave blocks ads and trackers before they even load, before the request leaves your browser, which means your page renders with less code running, less data being transferred, and less CPU being consumed by tracking scripts you never asked for. In 2025 benchmarks, Brave loaded pages 21% faster than Chrome and used 9% less CPU. Your browser gets faster when it stops doing work for advertisers. That is not a coincidence. That is physics. According to Surfshark's 2025 privacy analysis, Brave collects only identifiers and basic usage data compared to Chrome's 20 types. Independent testing shows Brave blocks 97% or more of trackers. Out of the box, the highest rate among mainstream browsers. The default search engine is Brave Search, which runs its own independent index and does not track your queries. And if you want to go further, Brave includes a private browsing mode that routes traffic through the Tor network, giving you Tor's anonymity without having to install anything extra. One thing worth naming, Brave has a built-in crypto reward system that some users find confusing. You can completely ignore it. It is not required. It is not enabled by default for ads. It does not affect any of the privacy features. But it exists, and Brave has had some past controversies around how it handled affiliate links. The core browser is excellent. The company behind it has had growing pains. Both things are true. I still recommend it. Number 3, Tor browser. In 2010, a Tunisian journalist named Sami Ben Garbia was documenting human rights abuses for a website called Global Voices. The Tunisian government was monitoring internet traffic. Finding him would have meant prison. He used Tor browser to route his communications through a chain of volunteer servers across multiple countries, encrypting each layer so that no single point in the network could identify both who he was and what he was reading. The government could see that encrypted traffic was leaving his device. They could not see where it was going. Tor did not just protect his privacy, it protected his life. That is the context in which Tor was built, and it is the context that explains why it works the way it does. Tor routes your traffic through 3 separate servers run by volunteers around the world, encrypting it at each step. Your internet provider sees encrypted data going to a relay. The website sees a request from an exit node. No one in the chain sees both ends. This is the technology used by journalists in authoritarian countries, by whistleblowers communicating with newsrooms, by activists organizing in places where organizing is dangerous, and by ordinary people who simply believe that what they read online is their business and nobody else's. According to Surfshark's 2025 analysis, Tor browser collects 0 data, no sync, no history, no saved sessions. Every time you close it, the browser forgets everything. That is not a bug. That is the design philosophy of a tool built by people who understood exactly what is at stake when someone's browsing history falls into the wrong hands. Tor is slower than other browsers. Some websites block Tor exit nodes. It is not the right tool for watching YouTube or checking your email. But for the moments when you need to research something genuinely sensitive, access information without leaving a trace, or simply exercise the right to be unobserved, Tor is the only browser that actually guarantees it. Use Brave or Firefox every day. Keep Tor installed for the times when privacy stops being a preference and becomes a necessity. You will be glad it is there. The bottom line: your browser is the single piece of software through which everything you do on the internet passes. Every search query, every medical symptom you look up at midnight, every flight you price without booking, every news article you read about a topic you are not ready to discuss publicly. All of it goes through your browser. All of it is visible to whoever built that browser, in whatever way they chose to design it. Chrome was designed to feed Google's ad machine. Edge was designed to keep you in Microsoft's ecosystem. Safari was designed to make leaving Apple feel expensive. Firefox was designed to keep the internet open. Brave was designed to take back what Chrome took. Tor was designed to protect the people for whom privacy is not a preference but a matter of safety. The switch takes 2 minutes. The browsers are free. The only thing standing between you and a private internet experience is knowing that this choice exists. Now you know. Drop your current browser in the comments. And if you are making the switch today, tell us which one you are moving to.